Myself.
We're starting. What's up, SEO pros, SEO and social media marketing pros? Today I'm with Matt Jones, and Matt is from the Montecito Group, and you can find him at, what is it, montecitogroup.com?
What's up, SEO? Yep. montecitogroup.com.
He's an Instagram marketing pro, and he's going to do a screen share with us today and show us all the cool things you can do with Instagram and all the stuff that he knows. And if you want to, just go ahead and start asking questions. If you're rewatching this later, you can go ahead and ask the questions, and I will relay them to Matt as well. And without further ado, I'm just going to hand it over to Matt, and we're going to dive right into it. So here we go.
What's up, guys? So always starts with an error, but my lonely screen is crashed. Let me get that up for you.
I'm going to start inviting a bunch of people too.
All right. My lonely screen just crashed brutally. Have you had that problem before?
Yeah, that happens.
Oh, there we are. Can you see it?
Yep.
All right, so I won't be having a live camera, right? Because mine's turned off for some reason.
What's that?
My camera's turned off, or is that normal?
No, it seems I can see everything.
All right, cool. All right, well, I'll take you through my Instagram page and a couple sample Instagram accounts that I have. So, start with basically layout, niche. So, with every Instagram account, you want to have a general direction for your audience. You want to choose your audience, what they want to see, give them a reason why to follow you. So as you can see, mine is surfing, athlete page, got surf pics, pictures of me, and in the last 6 photos, you can see everything I do. So you always want to be able to see everything you do in the last 6 photos. So when a new person comes to your page, they know everything about you. Here you can see surfing, I love cars, picture of me, just a little bit of everything that I like, and like kind of a sample of what I will be posting, so we can look forward to by following my account. So that's the first one. That's what you want to see when you show up to the page. Next, obviously, we'll go the first time someone sees you. So the first time someone sees you, it'll be this tiny little picture right here. This is the first time someone will even notice you, where you're coming from, if you like one of their photos, comment, or interact with them. So you want to have your profile picture have something different. And as of before, I would say people are using like white or black or just something kind of out of the ordinary. Let's kind of go through here and see. I noticed this red one. I noticed the blue one. So really solid colors are kind of what pop out to me if you want to go through it. Like the black one as well. So you want to have your profile picture be something more of a solid color. As you can see, mine is mostly blue, so it really pops out from the white background. And then, so Instagram, the search part right here, when you're searching for stuff, the only thing that pops up or the only thing that's categorized by ranked is your actual name. So my name would be Jatmones, and then my actual full name. So the reason why these are the only 2 that pop up on the search. So say if I'm searching for Jatmones, which is my nickname, I will pop up. If someone is searching for my real name, Matthew Jones, I will also pop up. And I've added Surfer into the second segment of it so that I will pop up for Surfer. So if you're running, your company page, or figured out your niche, let's say your niche is basically marketing service. My business page says Montecito Group /marketing. So now I will pop up for marketing and my business name. And
so this is kind of going into like social media optimization.
Yeah, this would be social media optimization, kind of profile optimization first of all, and then I'll kind of wrap around back into like gaining followers, how you should post, what hashtag you should use, and your analytics.
Nice.
So actually, I'll just jump into analytics right now. And you have to have a business page connected to Facebook in order to have this running. But on mine, I have it set as an athlete page. I want people to think I'm an athlete right when I show up. That's kind of my persona on my Instagram. That's why people follow me. They want athletic photos, but I also like design. You can also see me. Well, I'll take you into the analytics, which is this little bar button on the top right. I wish my finger would show up, or I'll just use my mouse. Yeah. So that one right there. This shows you all your top posts or since you connected your account. But I can also see my impressions for the week. Right now I have 8,300 impressions this week, which is a pretty high number. As you can see, I'm up 1,500 from last week. My photo reach is 1,800. It's up from last week. My profile view is 4,000 profile views. So that's the number of people who came to my page, looked at it. Impressions would be the number of people who saw my photo, maybe in the popular page or wherever they saw it online. And then the website clicks, obviously 66 per the week, which is insane. I just brought that up. I was getting like 20, 30 the weeks before, but now I've used a new method that bring my website clicks up. Email click 1, directions 2. I don't know why anybody would want directions to my location, but if you do, go for it.
So these website clicks, have any of them turned into actual conversions on your website?
I used to have a clothing company on there, my old clothing company, and yes, they did, actually. I would say a small percentage, but it was worth it in the long run. I'm assuming this one actually has led me to one of my biggest clients so far. He's I would say an intermediately famous, or he's like famous because he's a model, he's a musician, and he's a pro surfer, so he is famous, but our goal is to make him famous on the social media or more. And so this website click did, in fact, turn into one of my biggest clients.
Wow.
And so
I feel like most people, when they look at Instagram and they think of like clicks to their website, they don't think like, oh, I could use that as a method to get clients.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to some companies, and sometimes it's like, I would say if you have to spend, like 10, 15 grand a month running your account and your product is small, maybe it's not worth it. But if you're only spending like a few $1,000 or you can do it yourself in your spare time, it would be worth it. Not to mention, it'll boost your SEO, I believe, or eventually, if not, it doesn't already. I think that's more of a question for you. But also right here, if you go into the followers section, I can see exactly how many followers I got this week. This one is a little bit lower than normal. My best week was 538, but I usually stay around 350 to 400. Right now it's at 212 because I've been pulling down my following and I've been testing out some new strategies to see if they work. They were working for a couple days, but I just don't have enough people to interact with on that. I'll go into that later, but I just didn't have enough people to interact with. You can also see your gender. Luckily, I got 1% more women.
You know what's interesting about those analytics is that the 18 to 34 age range is very similar to the audience that I actually have on YouTube, except for my audience is actually mainly men. I think it's about actually 80%. So that's kind of cool because there might be there might be some sort of similarity for some sort of cross promotion between Instagram to YouTube.
Exactly. I think they should all be connected. I mean, my theory is Instagram to Facebook, Facebook to YouTube, Facebook to Twitter. You know what I mean? Facebook is the core for me just because it has the most people on it daily.
Right.
And then you can also go to Snapchat as well. If your target is really low, like if you want like 16 to 24, which ours does fit in, but that's kind of the main target on Snapchat.
Right.
But yeah, I can go into, my men, same thing. Women, even more in that 18 to 24 category. I can see locations. Los Angeles is my main one. Obviously, I live just north of Los Angeles, but New York, San Diego, London, I don't even know how. I don't know anybody over there. Maybe I do, but country, United States, obviously where I live. Australians for surfing, United Kingdom. That. But one of my favorite features on here is actually, we can see right here. Every single day of the week, I can go and see when my following is most active. So Sunday, I can see they're most active at 3 p.m. So if I was going to post, I'd post maybe an hour or two before 3 p.m. just to kind of get the build up. I want to get some likes before everybody starts to see the post in the prime category. So I can go throughout the entire week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And it seems like for my audience, the optimal time is around like 1 to 3 p.m. pretty much every day, which is really good to know when you're posting on almost all your social media platforms.
So does it really help to actually have like specific posting times? Because I know a lot of people they just post like whenever they want, you know?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, the more famous you get, it doesn't really matter because you're mainly going for the popular page. So they will display your image and your video to, the interested person when they're on it. But if you're posting, if you're under 1 million, then you should be posting when your audience is awake, when your audience is active on Instagram. I find that like each social media has a different time per day. Like let's say our audience is like middle-aged housewives with a job, or they wouldn't be housewives, but middle-aged women with a job. So like 30 to 40, they wake up in the morning, they check their email, get coffee. So right there, if they're on their email, they're going to be hitting them on a different type of ad, mainly display ads or anything they're seeing. I think about like 10 or 11 o'clock, they start checking their Facebook. Noon is probably more about the Instagram. Noon and 3 is like the Instagram hours. You know what I mean? They've got their main content out of the way. Now they're just kind of like, they've got all their work done. Now they're just kind of scrolling, checking out content, want to see what's going on. It's more like, I would say, a slow pace,
Right.
something you can kill more time with.
I think really what it comes down to is not being in the wrong place at the wrong time because of all the oversaturation these days with all the social media going on, right?
Yeah, but they've kind of helped that out by adding the algorithmic feed. Yeah, people hate it because your posts don't show up only to about 15% immediately. So it does help that it'll actually rearrange stuff for you, and when your most interested audience will see your post, but it also killed it because you can't show your post to everybody.
Have you noticed a difference with the new algorithm being implemented from Facebook to Instagram?
Oh, huge difference. People are starting to use Facebook more. I know my audience was like over it. Like Facebook just had crap, and now it's like actually good stuff. Now I'm excited to go on there and see.
Right.
Although your posts are be seen by way less people, and the people that are constantly interacting with your post will see it, but it's kind of the same people. It's hard to like branch out your audience. You really need to concentrate on posting shareable content or something they'll like, because when someone likes a post on Facebook, a percentage of their friends is actually notified that they liked it, or it shows up in their newsfeed. And if you go back in and comment on your own post, a percentage of the people that liked it or interested in it will actually get a notification saying, hey, the original poster commented on his own post. So it'll build up your interactions. So that's kind of what I've seen more people doing. Like you have to spend more time on that single post, so more time interacting with it, but it will get out there. So I think that would be the answer.
So regarding the day and the times, do you use anything specific to schedule out these posts to make sure you're hitting at the right times? And also, one of the things that I encountered was the fact that I'm not able to tag people or tag pages when I do these posts. Do you know any way around that?
So on Instagram, yeah, you can't really tag pages. The biggest thing we do is say link in bio. So you can always change your link in bio. Like, this week I have a new blog post out. I'll put it in there. I'm going to run it for 3 days, and all my posts will be like, big new blog post, link in bio, in big text.
No, but I mean like in terms of scheduling, because you know how you can tag people like in Facebook posts? Like for instance, say you had a quote from somebody, you wanted to tag them in it. Most post scheduling apps won't let you actually tag other pages, at least the ones that I've found.
I believe if you put the exact tag in there, so if you use @ and you were to tag me, it'd be @JatMoans, Instagram picks that up. So, but also you can't use a automation system for Instagram. It's not allowed.
Oh, it's not?
No. Everything
so you
else.
actually have to wait till 3 p.m. every day and then schedule it.
Yeah, you have to post
and then post it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can actually build up in your like posting center, like right here. Oops. You can actually go in there and you can set up like 3 or 4 posts that are ready to post, already have like your text, already have your hashtags, everything you want on there. And then you can come back in and be like, all right, post now.
Huh.
And also there's Buffer and Hootsuite, which will actually, you can actually lay out your entire post. And then on your phone, you'll get a notification. Hey, it's time to post. And you load up Instagram and it'll put all the content in there for you.
Wow.
I find it like semi-useful because I still have to be there to do it. So it ruins the big automation part of it.
So really it's more just about creating like an alert on your phone and then just saying, hey, it's time to post.
Yeah, you could do it with your calendar too.
Okay.
So, I mean, the rest of this is just a simple bio. I try not to do anything weird. I just want to look like a normal person in a normal business. I put my location, not really my address, because they can go to the contact and get everything they want. My address is in there. My phone number is in there. And yeah. So the goal here in the overall picture is to make your page look like it's official, done right, you know, that you know what you're doing. So when you have your full name, you have the athlete tag right here or whatever tag you want. I think Instagram has probably about 100 or so different ones. So it looks like you actually know what you're doing, you know. So if you have a marketing company, it'd be like marketing services right here. And then you can describe a little bit about you, a little about what you guys do, website, location. So the overall picture is just like, I know what I'm doing. Everything looks like it should. And if you ever need help or to find out what you want to put, just go look at similar accounts. Anybody official like HubSpot, Google, the biggest companies on there always have like what people are used to seeing. So
Right.
you want, when you want to, like when you're bringing people to profile, you want to stand out. But when you're on your profile, you want your content to stand out. So everything else looks right or looks in place, but your content is what you want to have the people like, oh my God, I like his post, I like his pictures, you know, great surfing stuff. And then kind of go from there. Like I want to continue to see what he posts. And a lot of people have been doing the like, you know, they'll do, let's see, I think Bentley. Let's see if they have any in there. They've been doing the 3 or 4. Yeah, these little two picture one right here. For a while, they're doing like 4 or 5 picture ones, just like huge pictures all collectively put together on their profile so you'd see something amazing. And they were trying that out for a while, but it just doesn't work. People genuinely want to see good content in one photo when they're scrolling down their feed. So, I mean, if you can design it in a way where your content kind of goes together and you can do like 2 or 3 piece shot like this one. Both photos have kind of interesting content, but when together on their page, it looks good. But I find it to be a big hassle when, you know, you have like 2 like these 2, and now you have to post 3 photos every time to make it even out. Otherwise, you have 2 broken images, which is a real big pain if you ask me. I had to deal with it a couple of projects.
Right.
It was just like I had to post 3 photos, so I had to get 3 times the content. It was just like, yeah, it wasn't worth my time.
So you're saying that they're like profiles should look a certain way, and you said before that like you look at profiles and you actually like do like audits on them, right?
Yeah, I do.
Can you check out mine and tell me what you think?
Hopefully it's good.
I don't mind, man. You can rip it to shreds.
Which one was it?
The first one.
This one. So first off, this would be a medium-sized profile picture. When you're in the search, it's a little bit bigger than when you're actually in the notification. So the first one, your picture does stand out. It gives me no information about you. I maybe have it like mainly all black, and then across the middle it say just Chase, or
Right.
maybe you have like a YouTube picture or just big letters SEO. You know, still
Yeah.
stand out, but give you a little bit more information because I couldn't tell which one was you off the bat. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had to look through them. I'm like, does he have the real one? Does he have the second one? I don't know. So first things first, your ratio right here is way off in my book. You should never, ever follow more than 1,500 people, like ever.
Okay.
It's just like a sign that you're just going out there and trying to get more followers. Like it shows you're trying. And to be famous on Instagram, you don't try. Your photos do all the work. You know what I mean? So that's what you're trying to hide from. Like your ratio, it can fluctuate between under 1,000 to just over 1,000, but it should look like you're actually following friends or following things you want to learn from. This just looks like you're following people that you don't even know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's a big no-no when you come to a page. I mean, if you go to Google or anybody, they're not going to be following that many people. They follow 100 people because they genuinely want to see those people's content, and they generally, they're willing to put that follow, or willing to put that person number on their following. Oops.
It's a nice background.
Yeah. I need to hide my password from you guys. So also another handy trick is, so when you first follow somebody, I'll click follow right now, these things pop down. Famous Instagram, YouTube people. So I can tell from this that you're following a lot of Santa Barbara. You got the Funk Zone, Santa Barbara Independent, the Chamber. And how to get yourself to show up in this one is actually by who you follow. So if I have a surfing account, I go out and follow all the pros and all the big brands, so that mine is basically integrated with theirs. So now Instagram thinks I'm a pro surfer or whatever my niche is. It'll serve me up as the suggestions for you in this actual section right here.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people don't know that, but it's who you follow, not who follows you, to be in this part.
So we obviously know that all these people are following probably a lot of other people in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, because it's the Funk Zone, Santa Barbara Independent, and I can tell you're from Santa Barbara, so you're probably following a bunch of people up there. From my read in this Santa Barbara Magazine, see this guy's following a bunch of people from Santa Barbara. I have no clue who Cole Gill is, but he's got his way into Santa Barbara Magazine, the Chamber, downtown Santa Barbara. The whole SV Menus is doing really well too. Oops. So also on I'll use my mouse more, I'm just kind of learning, but on here, when I type Chase Rainer, you'll obviously show up because your name is right here, but it's also right here. So you're wasting 2 search ranking locations. So yeah, you do want to have your name, but after it, you want to have your main category. So yours is motivational comments. So maybe you should put Chase Rainer / motivational comments, or whatever the biggest SEO keyword is for that category. I'm not exactly sure how to look up the rankings of words on Instagram. I don't know if there's a software out there that actually has I can type in a number, kind of AdWords, and be this is the amount of searches on Instagram for that per month. So you just kind of have to do your best guess based off other softwares. I typically use AdWords or Google Trends just to see the main words in that category. And I know since I have an advertising company, but I also do marketing, but marketing is searched way more than advertising. So I use marketing in my headlines to pop up in front of more people. So that would be for right here. And I just put a slash or a dash just so people know it's kind of what I do. And then for your bio, keep moving forward is pretty basic. I don't understand. I mean, I know it's a motivational thing, but it doesn't say anything about who you are. Is this a business account? Is this a person account? I don't know what you're posting or what your life is about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd like to have you can have keep moving forward and then just be handmade, or not handmade, but I created all these comments, or I created all these posts below. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or something like that, or daily inspirational quotes. So I know exactly what you're going to do. I'm going to get daily inspirational quotes from following you.
Probably a link too to a Facebook page, because I have a Facebook page too where I post motivational things as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can have because you're missing your link. That's a complete waste of another connection. So if they really like what they see on your page, or they're really interested in your web address, if you have an interesting web address, they'll click on it, go to your website, and you've just transferred them from Instagram to whatever portal you want them to go to. I would say a lot of people transfer them to blog posts. That's a big one. YouTube videos is another big one, or your personal website if that's your basically your highest converting platform or your central hub. I would say most people's central hub is Facebook, though, just because more people are on it. You can post more kinds of content on there, and it also has the highest conversion rates. So, yeah, Facebook's conversion rates for kind of the e-commerce category, but you could consider services or anything, is 1.85. I know it's small, but the next one down is Vimeo at 1.13 and YouTube with 1.13. And then Instagram is actually fourth. It's over Google+, over Twitter, over Pinterest, Instagram, or LinkedIn, Reddit. So Instagram is number 4 on the conversion ratio.
Wow.
And on another note, the average order value is $65 per order, the average for Instagram. And to put that in perspective, that's second in line for the highest order value of all social media sites. The only one that's higher is Polyvore. But I don't really know many people use Polyvore. I know it's a styling app, kind of more, it's like a more niche version of Pinterest for stylists. And then Facebook is obviously, it's $55 per conversion. And YouTube is actually the lowest at $37 per conversion.
Really?
Yeah. I actually should pull this up real quick if you guys can see it. Just my little note to keep in mind when I'm, get a new client.
I wonder if that's based off of products, though, because that's, to me, sounds very general.
Yeah, this is e-commerce. They did.
For e-commerce, yeah, that makes sense. Because like for services, though, because there's so many how-to tutorials that I would feel like YouTube would actually probably be one of the highest.
Well, if you could, it'd be really hard to track your conversions from YouTube to, dollar value clients for services. I figure a lot of them, so you land the job from another platform. So you land it from your website or you land it from a person coming back, but they recognize you from YouTube video. So your attribution for YouTube videos is probably higher than most categories.
Right.
If you understand what I'm saying, yeah. I would say your attribution probably, you could weight it higher than most categories. Like weighting the blog post and weighting YouTube videos are probably one of those most important things for me. Like a lot of people, when they do remarketing, they're setting their Google Analytics attribution to like even, which would be linear, and I don't believe it should be that way. I mean, your main thing is just like, you want to figure out your attribution value for the brand awareness, your attribution value from like educating the client about your product, and then the final, what brought the person to the sale or what made them sell. So I would say those are your biggest 3 attribution categories. And anything in between is kind of like just minor help in getting the person down the process. So if your YouTube video was your primary education tool to get that person to buy your product, that would be a huge weighting. And maybe you didn't get the conversion from them, but it would just like, that was the key factor in getting the person to actually buy your product when they saw you down the line, or when they saw you in a Google search.
Right.
But yeah, this is just interesting stats I came upon. They're actually from Shopify, so they're a pretty good, I would say it holds pretty true to being right for the e-commerce platform. I was kind of sad to see the conversion ratios at Reddit so low.
So high up there. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think I read the stats like a year ago, and it was like 80%, women to men, which is like astronomical for a platform. And
Right.
then like 50 plus were like highly conversion ratio oriented online women shoppers. So that's why it shows. And then Instagram is just a monster. But the conversion ratio of Facebook is great. I mean, 1.85 seems low, but I mean, if you're getting clicks at a row price and your conversion ratio is going to be in the 1.8 to 2 range or a little bit lower, and you run the numbers and it comes out right, you're stoked.
Right.
But yeah, let me bring up my phone again. How many followers do you have right now? Or how many people watching this?
4 people are watching, and we got 5 likes so far. People have been coming in and out. And by the way, you guys are welcome to ask any questions. I think there was one question, but I actually asked it for the person who asked.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go back to the AirPlay. But what I can see done well here on your Instagram account is that when I come to your page, I know exactly what you're going to be posting. I can see your picture category to a T. This is what I can expect by following you, and that's amazing. But let's dive into a photo. You got 127 likes, 17,000 followers. I would say that ratio is a little bit off. I would expect to have like 300 plus, 300 to 500. I use an app called Whaler Labs, and it'll actually show you the percentage of, let's see if I can pull it up. I use a old email address for this just because it's one of the things from them. But this will actually show me the engagement rate. 0.85 is low. You want to be about 2 to 3%. 3% is actually high. And this follower ratio is 2 to 1, which is bad. Let's bring up a massive company like Target. Their follower ratio is 1.9K to 1, which is good, but they're actually following a lot of people.
So if it's in green, does that mean it's good?
Yeah, according to them.
Gotcha.
But the engagement rate on that is quite low, actually. I mean, they're saying it's good because Target's is lower, but mine's at 4.13. Can you think of any other famous accounts or anybody you want to look at?
Look up Social Media Examiner.
Actually have an account?
I think that's it. Oh, I don't know.
Nope.
Maybe it might be SME Examiner.
Or SM Examiner?
Yeah. There it is.
Yep. So their engagement rate is low too.
Wow.
See, now it fixed. For some reason, yours was green or blue.
Have you seen an account that does a lot of like social media or SEO posts that does well?
Tai Lopez. I think this is it, or is there a dash? Nope, this is his. His engagement is perfect. You want to sit around 3. I mean, he puts in a lot of money to get a 3%.
Doesn't he just post his like Ferraris and stuff? Is it actually related to social media?
I mean, it is his social media. It's a extenuation of what he is. So he is a famous guy. He's a teacher, so he has books, educational posts, Ferraris. So it's just him. I mean, that's what social media is all about. You know what I mean?
We have a question. Somebody wants to know, are we going to talk about tools too?
Yes, I have the tools right here. I just haven't got to it yet. I can go to it right after this. I'll just explain the rest of this page, and then we'll go there.
Okay.
But as you can see, almost even the best one, I would say Tai Lopez is one of the best used Instagram accounts around. He really harnesses clients, really knows how to pull them from Instagram to his websites or to his landing pages. And you can see that his engagement rate is still lower than the optimal, they say. But his average likes is optimal. His frequency of posts is great. He posts once every 6 hours. You should post about 1 to 2 times per day, actually, on Instagram. His ratio is 148 to 1, totally fine. Average comments, though, that's amazing. He gets 1.6 thousand comments. I mean, Target has 2 million followers. They only get 198 comments. So you can kind of figure your brand out, kind of what's your target goal. That's a pun, not a pun, but yeah, you figure out your target goal. I'm sure they figure out their target goal all the time. But I mean, if your target goals should probably be engagement is the highest, I would say. So people engaging with your posts, moving to your profile, moving to your website. So that would be your primary goal, to get conversions. So anything above a 3 is amazing in my book. And then his frequency of post is amazing. But as you can see, this is what you go for, and you can use this at Whaler Labs or Whaler.com/labs.
And I'm going to be leaving all these tools in the descriptions for you guys if you need to check them out, or if you guys want to check them out.
Perfect. So, been through everything on Instagram. Let me see. I want to get through the on-app stuff. I'm just going to quickly scroll through it. Yeah, got all that. So I'll go to tools now. So this was actually a study done by Neil Patel, and it shows that if you like, follow, and comment on someone's account and one photo, that 34% of those actually become return followers. So that is basically the root use for an Instagram bot. And I've used a bunch of them, and my favorite is Instagress. Yes, I believe it is against Instagram's policy to have an automated bot doing your likes, comments, follows, unfollows. So you could use it at your own risk. I've been using it for over a year, maybe longer, and I've gotten away with it. I had one account get blocked for about a day, but that's when I was first starting up, and I went straight to like super speed, which is, this is the speed section. And I went straight to fast from day one, and they caught on to me and were like, all right, you can have your account back, but, you know, slow it down. And so on the same account, I just started out slow again, moved my way up to medium, fast, and I'll get to that when I'm there at that section.
The Instagram police gave you a speeding ticket.
Basically, yeah. Exactly what it was. Kind of funny. But I'll actually pull this account up. This was an interesting story. So my buddy is actually a real estate agent down in San Clemente, California. And I was talking with him. I'll pull up the page real quick. Well, let me cast it. So as you can tell, most real estate agents don't have, you know, too much volume of good content to post. I mean, they can't just post houses, bathrooms, stuff all day. It's kind of like something that people don't really want to look at, something I wouldn't really want to follow.
Right.
So we were discussing, like, how would we create an Instagram account he can use to promote his business, but have good content that his city, the people in the city would want to follow. So we came up with the idea of creating a downtown San Clemente account. So this is where he lives. This is good content of your city. So it'd be like highly engageable. So anybody who lives there would have a high likelihood of following this account. And when you know, on the beach or when you're in the area and you're tagging like your location or you're tagging like what the picture of, if you type in downtown San Clemente, which is a highly likelihood of doing, that his account will show up and could be tagged in your photo. So with his, he originally started it, and he was trying to, he wanted to follow a ton of people. It was kind of against my, it was against my, what's it called? I can't think of it. It was against my will. I told him, you know, you can't follow people. You're gonna have like your ratio is gonna be all off, and his ratio was about 5,700 about a month ago. So I've been like, he finally caved in. He's like, all right, let's use your app. You know, let's get this thing going. Let's get my ratio right. So in the last month, I've gotten rid of 3,000, or not even a month, last 3 weeks, I've gotten rid of 3,000 of his followers. So he's now at 27. We're still going down every single day. But my goal is to have him below 1,000 in about a week and a half. But as you can see, he has the OC Realtors here. So anybody who looks for an Orange County Realtor, he will pop up. He will pop up for the Lee's team, which is his company, and he will pop up for downtown and San Clemente. So he's got all these major keywords in there for his area. So with that account, this is his Instagram page. This is the main tool I use for automating activity. So it doesn't gain you fake followers. It doesn't do anything. All it does for you is like, comment, follow, and unfollow. And yeah, you can turn these on or off. Doesn't matter. It's kind of used to your discretion. Although every time you, like, if you turn off comments off or if you turn likes off, your your return follow rate is going to be lowered drastically. I believe they're about 10% apiece. I know following is the highest one, but they're all about 10% apiece. So you'll lose 10% conversion ratio per. So with this, you can use all these targeting. So you can target hashtags, you can target locations and followers. So I set up the followers of usernames. So this means that I can target followers of other accounts of my choosing. So my primary thing was like, how am I supposed to target people who love downtown San Clemente, people that would follow the account, people that would be potential leads for them. So the way I do it, not by hashtags. Hashtags, they haven't worked for me too well in the past. Just I find that a lot of people are using hashtag nowadays just to try to get their photo on there when it means nothing to do with the content. Like if you look in the surfing or stuff like that, you got half these random girls in the middle of the country and half surfing photos. So I can tell that half the people are just like putting the hashtag for no reason. So that doesn't work. And then with real estate, I didn't want to use location based because he'd have people that don't live in the city anymore or interested in moving to the city, so it would rule all them out. So what we did was set it up to target usernames. So now I went through and I found out a bunch of accounts that were similar to his, or it was the actual city ones of downtown San Clemente. I'll go down here and see them. So this program is set to interact with only people that follow this account. San Clemente Life, SC Times, Visit San Clemente Coastal Homes, San Clemente Guide, Real Estate, OC. This one's really good. So anybody interested in real estate we'll be interacting with, and hopefully we'll get a percentage return follow. OC Real Estate, San Clemente Drone Pilot, just because his pictures are like identical. So if you enjoy following any one of these, you like the same kind of pictures that my page is posting, and in return, you'd be the highest likely to follow that page because that's what you're interested in. So it's basically matching people's interest with the page that you're promoting. But I'll come back down the list in a second. So those are like all the target categories. Following likers and commenters would be able to interact with anybody who liked one of my target page's photos. So my target page is Real Estate OC. If somebody liked it or commented on it, they would also be added to my target audience category. And then you can also target by followings. So I can target the people that person is following, which is usually not as good because a lot of people follow a broad range of categories. Like if it was me, we'd have people from everywhere around the world, some surfer, some design people. So your target gets just spread too thin. You can't really control who you're actually hitting with the program. So following is not advised in my book, unless you could find a use for it. I've considered using it for targeting like famous people, like using the followings of Calvin Klein or a big account like that only follows certain famous people to target them. And that would be one use for it, but I've really not found anything that it works for. If you have any questions, go for it.
I don't have any questions well, actually, I do have a question. Hold on. Let me read a couple of these comments. Ephraim says, Ty comes from nowhere to come to somewhere cool. Nothing but love for Ty.
He's a good dude, yeah.
And then somebody named Barty says, Instagress is pretty good. I have used it for over a year before moving to onto Fan Harvest, mostly for added features.
Let's check it out.
I did want to ask you, like, what are like some of the main, like, what are the main features you turn on for Instagress?
I run all of them because that's just how you get the highest return. So I want to find my target audience based on the targeting, and then I want to like their photo, comment on their photo, and follow them. So that's the way they're able to, see me, realize I'm there from one of the ways. They're most likely notice that I follow them. That's like the biggest one. Like if someone follows you, you're like, oh, they care about me. Where if you like a photo or comment on a photo, you're like, hey, I'm here. You got cool stuff. But like when you follow somebody, it's like, I'm here to stay.
But I mean,
I
like, more
think.
specifically, the targeting.
What do you mean more specifically targeting?
Like all the different things you can do for like the like location, like the things you were explaining. You
Hmm.
use all of those?
I've used all of them for certain situations. I find a lot of them are not as effective as the following, just because location-wise, a lot of people tag a location that they're not in. You know what I mean?
Right.
So your data gets skewed. So using locations, so it'd be targeting anybody who went, on vacation there, or anybody who just decided to post in that area just because they want to get more followers. Like all
Right.
the famous people have been using Singapore, because a high volume of people look through that location tag. So you could target that. Like you could target like a high value location like Singapore, because Amanda Cerny, Dan Bazarian, all those big guys have been using that location. So if you want to hit them, if they're your target audience, you could use it for that reason.
Okay.
And if you had like a certain hashtag, like I know a lot of companies use the tag feature purely for their own hashtag. So Frankie's Bikinis, for example, like if you tag Frankie's Bikinis in any one of your pictures, they use this program or another one similar to immediately target that person's photo and give it a like and give it a comment. So it makes that person feel like they're interacting with the brand when a bot's really doing that.
Wow.
So just like major like upvote for them. That's a good thing you do. So if you have like a brand that's highly hashtag, which not many are until you get really big, but luckily theirs is. I mean, all the girls love to post their bikini pictures after they buy it from Frankie's Bikinis. So it's great when they're like, "Hey, thanks for buying. Here's a like on your photo." It increases their likelihood of doing it again.
That's crazy. I didn't even think of that. Something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You just got to figure out like, what your goal is. Brand awareness. Retention. Anything you want to do in the marketing category, and you can use the targeting method to isolate your biggest audience. The only thing I would say consider is a lot of your data is skewed on Instagram because people can pretty much do whatever they want. It's done at like the top level. It's done at whatever the user puts. Whereas when you're targeting on Facebook, they're doing it like sub level. So they are creating your categories for you. So they can like overwrite any content that you say that's a lie.
Right. Okay, we got another question from Craig Anthony. He says Instagram sounds great, but we heard about Mass Media Planner, which seems to compile all the best social medias into one schedule app. Lots of options, automated, followers, unfollows, posts, tweets, etc. It does cost, but for what it appears to do, it will save me so much time. Only for PC, not Mac. Hence me selling my MacBook Pro this month. Some great advice here, guys. Thank you for this live video.
Well, I've used probably like 5 or 6 of them so far, and I find a lot of them just don't have the targeting features. Like they'll have a few targeting features like commenters, likers. That's a huge one. I have never seen it any other one so far. I'm sure they're kind of catching up with Instagram because they all copy each other. But this was the first one to come out with the following, or the followers following, likers, and comments. And the targeting is the number one thing, because if I can't target my audience, then I'm wasting almost all of my liking, all of my commenting, all of my following. So if I have like a surf account and I'm trying to target surfers, but I'm hitting half of them who like cars or horses, I'm just wasting all my input, all my money, all my time. So the number one thing you can do in looking for one of these, I'm not saying it's bad or good, I haven't checked it out, but make sure you have as many targeting options as possible. And the second most important one is speed, because this one allows me to I can actually put in the exact speed I want. A lot of them just say like, this one used to be just slow, normal, fast, but now I can come in here and I can put exactly the custom speeds that I've been testing out. So my personal page speed is actually custom. So I have it 50 likes an hour, 15 comments, 35 followers, 35 unfollowers an hour. And that is extreme. That is faster than fast. But I've been keep creeping up, keep testing it with Instagram to see what they'll let me push. So I'm able to go faster than virtually any other one I've seen. And speed per hour is like one of the biggest things for me. That's just every time you can go faster, it's dividing your cost by that new number. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if it's say it's like $1 an hour, but I'm dividing it by 35 instead of 25, I'm getting cheaper interaction prices and faster, actually. I mean, I always want to get it done faster. If I can get more followers now, I can get more followers now. You know, I can get more followers next week. You grow your accounts following faster, gets you faster on the popular page, you know, gets you more recognition. Just everything. Faster is better. I don't think I can explain it any other way.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
So these are my two most important features when I'm looking at a Instagram bot. So I'll have to check out Fan Harvest and Mass Media Planner, but if it doesn't have these targeting options, I'm using them separately or not using them at all. And the filters, this is how the overall category of this is, oops, hit the space bar. Overall reason for this is to filter out any profiles so you don't have a profile picture, missing any photos, they don't have any photos in their account, or it can filter out any accounts over a set amount of followers, following, you know, last time they posted, media type. So a big example is, you know, if I like, follow, and comment on like a Tai Lopez photo, I just go hidden. I'm like a needle in the haystack to him. So I'm basically wasting an interaction by doing anybody who's too famous to notice my interactions with them.
Right.
So for Media Age is basically the entire gap of, like, the entire range of media I'm willing to interact with. So I only want to interact with new media. So anything that's come out in the last 2 weeks. So I know the person is active, you know, they're on Instagram a lot. They're just like, they're into it. You know what I mean? If it's over 3 weeks, the person is, you know, they're just not that into it. They don't like it. So they'll probably, my interaction will go to deaf ears. And then for media type, I don't care if it's a photo or video. A like, a follow, and a comment is still seen pretty much in the same way. Yes, video views are shown over likes to an outer person looking at it, but to the notification page, they are exactly the same. Minimum likes filter will basically rule out any person below that amount of likes on a photo, but I'm willing to like anybody's photo from number one. If I'm the first person to like somebody's photo, they're going to take note to me. Like, you want to be in that first 50 to 100 range. If it goes over that, you're going to be hidden in the hundreds of other followers that have liked that photo. So your main thing, your idea is to interact with people that will notice your interactions. And this is the main thing for it. So your max likes, I don't want to like any photo or interact with a photo that has more than 100 likes. I know I will just be hidden. Minimum comments is the same thing at minimum likes. I don't care if it has 0 comments. If I'm the only comment, it's actually better, because then everybody coming to that page will see my comment and be interested in what I said. But the max comments, if they have more than 15 comments, they're probably not going to notice you. I mean, I would say you could probably go up to like 20, 25, but over that, you're going to be hidden. It's going to be useless. And then the user relations. If you have any questions, kind of stop me or give me a shout out. I'm just going to kind of keep going.
No, I mean, this is pretty good. We do have some feedback. Craig's saying Instagram sounds great. He's saying, as a photographer, how do you get around the inability to upload to Instagram other than a mobile phone as opposed to my DSLR?
I mean, Instagram makes it like, it's really important then that the actual user is posting from the Instagram app. They want to know that this is creative content. So they've made it really strict that if you don't have a mobile phone, that you can't really post it. I know there's a few things on the computer that you can download. It's basically an Android operating system emulator. So you can actually download the Android version of the Instagram app on an emulated operating system from Android on your Windows or Mac, I believe. So you could actually post from your Mac or from your Windows laptop, tablet onto Instagram. So that's the only hack I've heard of. And I also know that, apps will come out every now and then that allow you to directly post to Instagram, but they get shut down really fast. And if you get caught, they will ban your Instagram account.
So it's not even really worth it.
I mean, you could use it if you're good with computers, you could get a Android emulator, but otherwise Instagram wants people to be creative and wants people to post for themselves. Their goal is to get rid of all bot posting. They just, like Facebook had that for a while, Twitter has that, all of them just like, there's so many posts going now because people can just automate it for months. They can automate 100 posts a day if they wanted to.
Right.
So Instagram wants like real, genuine content. So let's see, I think these are very important. If I skip over them, you can always write a comment, write me an email, hit up Chase. So this one's really important. So this is the user profile filter. The profile filter basically crawls their page to make sure, not each level is different, to make sure they have a profile picture, they have a bio, they have a username, they have more than 10 photos. And so I set this to really high because I want a person that I know is actually using Instagram and that actually will maintain, if they follow me, to keep liking my photos and will notice my Instagram. If they don't have a profile picture, if they don't have more than 30 photos, either they're a complete newbie or they're just not that into it. So you're wasting your time by liking one of their photos. So maintain that high. You want a high caliber account. So high is high caliber, low or off would be, I want low quality accounts. I don't care. And then this one's really important. This is the number of followers they have. So I figured I want people who are going to notice my interactions with them. So if a person has more than 5,000 followers, they probably get so many notifications a day that they don't even bother looking at it anymore, especially from a random, because we're coming at them as a complete blank sheet. They've never seen us before. They're basically like, if you're not pop out, then they're not going to, check out your page, check out your profile, or even consider following you. So I don't want people to have more than 5,000 followers for me to interact with them. And I want them to have more than 100 because I want them to actually know that this person's been on the app for at least 3 or 4 months. I know some people don't have more than 100 followers just because they're new or they don't, they're just kind of getting started. They're just learning. So I set it pretty low in that aspect. But my range is from 100 to 5,000. That's how many followers you can have for my program to interact with you. And then this is the following. This one's even more important to me.
Wait, what's the default for the max followers? Do you know?
You can set to whatever you want.
Okay.
It says recommended ranges would be 500 to 1,000. I mean, to get it better, and if you have a big target audience, I would actually bring that number down. But I wanted people who were semi-famous. I was willing to take the risk to target people with like 2,000-3,000 followers in the hopes that a famous person followed me back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like in terms of backlinking, it'd be like reaching out to a bigger company that, maybe you're wasting your time reaching out to them. But if they did give you a backlink, it would be worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would rather take this one. My setting is basically to take, 10 shots and hit one, but that one is high value. So if you just want to get lots of followers, I'd probably lower that number to 1,000. If you have under 1,000 people, you're going to notice pretty much all your notifications. And then this is the other one. This would be following. So this is how many people you follow as compared to how many people follow. This is how many people follow you. So this one's actually crucial because I know a lot of people don't like following random accounts at all. Even if they like their photos, they're not going to follow you back. They're like, I don't follow anybody but my friends. So you want to make sure people have over 250. I should probably boost this to 500 for myself. So you can tell if like a person is interested in following a bunch of random accounts to like learn, or just because they like their photos, they will follow back. So you want to make sure the person is predispositioned to follow a new account that interacts with them. So you want to make sure, your range is pretty good. But if they follow over 2,500, I'm assuming they're using like the same tactics we are, or they're using a lesser form of it where they're just going out and following tons of people. And then like 3 months later, they'll come back and try to unfollow them all. So if they're following over 2,500, they're just, they'll just follow anybody. And your photos and your posts will go to deaf ears because they're following so many people, that there's so many posts getting posted a day by 2,500 people that yours is going to fly through the list. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, that would be like the second level. So you want to get them to follow you, but you also want them to be able to see your post so they can like it, comment it, or realize you're even there. So my range is 2,500 to 250. That's where I'm only willing to target people. And then these would be like combos. So if I wanted to target tags at a location, so I could use tag and location. If I wanted to make sure people did 2 tags, so if I wanted to target like girls on the beach, I target like beach bikini. So you can double up the tags. And then this one would be so target of a username. So it would be either targeting their followers or following plus a hashtag. So they would have to follow a certain person plus post a certain hashtag in that photo for you to interact with them. So this one is actually probably a good one I could start using a little bit more of. The only reason I don't use it is because it limits my audience size. So for a person to follow my target username and to have this hashtag on one of their photos is higher of unlikeliness. So you bring down your audience by a percentage. It just makes for more work. I'd have to be on this program like 3 or 4 times a week, optimizing my account to make sure I had a big enough audience to interact with. Oh, and just to go back, if anybody wants to talk to me about the speed settings, just let me know or Chase know. But basically, you should go do slow speed for a week, medium speed for another week, which is normal, and then a week after that, you can use fast speed, and then a week after that, you can go into a more extreme. So basically, go every level of the stairs for 1 week. The comments, this is kind of like my least favorite part of the app. This is what I write on people's posts. And at the beginning, I was like really trying to like say something like, I like your post, or, I really like what's going on. This is rad, or this is cool. And I found out that like commenting, targeting the picture, since you have no clue what the picture is, you only have like a rough guess, doesn't really work. So what I do is I target their feed. So I try to talk about their style. We like your feed, we like your style, or we like your photos. So I get away with talking about their profile instead of that picture. So I have a higher chance of being correct with what I'm saying. Sometimes you will say we like your photos to an account that has, just random crap photos. I mean, they probably still like what you're saying, but you did just say something pretty stupid. So these, you want to be really careful with what you're commenting on them. I mean, I've seen people use hashtags or just emojis, so they're kind of like null to any saying. But people who do that kind of take less recognition. Like if I see a hashtag or a 1-word comment on my post, I'm like, whatever. They didn't take the time to comment on it. They don't really mean anything. But when you like take the time to write out a full comment, it actually builds up people, like they want to read it. They want to know who said this. You seem more real. And this would be your cycle. So this is how many people you would follow before it switched to unfollow. And so you want to keep your entire following to under 1,500. So if you're already following 1,000, you only have like a 500 follower range to work with. So I want my minimum. I only want to follow 250 people, then unfollow 250 people, and go back up and down. So I want to stay in a really tight range so not many people notice that I'm doing this. And yes, the bigger number you do here, the longer of a term it will take until you unfollow that person. Like if I did 1,500, 2,000, it would take me about a day to get back to that person and unfollow them. So a bigger number will actually get you more following, but I would never sacrifice the look of my profile. If someone looks at your profile and automatically notices that you're a bust, or you're using a bot, or they notice anything that makes you look out of the ordinary, and this is a big one, that they won't follow you. Or they'll think your clothing company or your e-commerce company is a scam. You know, they won't like you. It's just immediate bad vibes. The unfollow is the amount of people you unfollow. So you can have it set exactly the same as this. I have it set as a little bit more because I always want to get rid of some people because I've built up a lot of following, and I want to make sure that the program unfollows every single person it followed. And that's what this source is for. So this one, we're using like a 3-to-1 ratio. So when we follow 250 people, we're unfollowing 750 people after that. This is really specific for this account because we're trying to like actually bring our ratio down because it was at 50-50. So if I follow people, then unfollow people the exact same amount, our ratio is not going to go anywhere. So I want to follow 3 times or unfollow 3 times as many people so I can move his ratio down over, you know, the month or 2 time period I'm using this app. And that's what this setting is for. If you put on Instagram, will only unfollow people that this app followed. And if you use all, it will unfollow anybody that your account is following. I would recommend not using all because it could unfollow friends, it could unfollow business associates. So only use all if you really understand the consequences of unfollowing anybody in your account. Tags would obviously be used if you were targeting hashtags. You put any of you want in there. Locations would be used for targeting locations like San Clemente that he lives in, but we're not using these. And if we're not using that feature, you can have anything you want in it, but it still doesn't do anything. Usernames, like I came to before, these would be the accounts for the username sections. So as a peer, I'm targeting the followers of usernames. And these are the usernames. So if I go to one of these accounts, every single person they're following is in my target audience, minus the ones canceled out by the filter. So these are the ones you want to get to as similar as possible of your account. Like they should have the same photos, probably the same area. This is all their followers are your target audience. The blacklist is simple enough. Any tags you don't want to interact with, any usernames you don't want to interact with, any keywords. I know a lot of people want to put in usernames because if they have friends or another business associate that they don't want to like, comment on their profile, they will put that name in there. Any specific keywords that make them, you know, not into their category, any tags that are against their category, you put there. Auto stopping, you can just auto set the app to stop after a certain amount of likes, certain amount of unfollows. You can run the timer. And then stop if there's no activity, would just mean like if you run out of people to follow or you run out of people to unfollow, it's how long you want the app to run until it stops. And that'll stop for any setting. If you run out of people like, if you run out of people to comment or follow, if any of those runs out for an hour with the setting, it'll shut the program down. That is because this program, they charge you by the hour. So you buy time, you buy like a month's worth of time. So you can stop it and still have your time. He has 9 days, 22 hours remaining. So you want to set this setting to low so you don't waste any time. So that's pretty much Instagram. Do you have any questions, Chase?
Wow, that's a lot, man.
You could go into it for days, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm definitely going to have to follow this and like redo it for my own accounts because this is crazy.
Yeah, I really want to start practicing with the more keywords and tags. I mean, I have mine super targeted for the usernames, so I don't really worry about that, but I could like even target down even more. It's kind of like similar to an AdWords keyword, a negative keyword.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, stuff I also do is like when I'm starting out with a new person, I really, really want them to have at least 2,000 followers on it. I mean, when we're initially bringing people to a page, people want to see social proof. They want to see that, hey, other people follow this. A lot of other people follow it, so I should follow it too. People just tend to follow the crowd. Like if a page, like a pro surfer followed me with 50,000 followers, I'm like, oh my God, this person with 50,000 followers followed me. I should probably follow him back. So you want to have that person's profile to have a good following before you even use this app. You can use it from zero, but it'll just take a little while to start you up. But the more followers you have, the better social proof your page is, the better this app works. And I'm not associated with Instagram at all.
Do you want to talk about influencer marketing at all, or cross promotion, or like hashtag research?
Yeah, I mean, hashtag research is one of the things I do. I mean, my thought process is they give you 30 hashtags per photo. That's your limit. You can use less, but my goal is they give you that. That's the max. I want to use the best hashtags, all of them. I don't want to waste an opportunity to put my photo in a different place. So what I do is I go to Instagram. Let me pull it up. Oh, hold on. I'm getting it. So we'll go to surf hashtag. So let me bring this up on screen. So right now, I really want to figure out the 30 best hashtags to put my photo on. And I mean, prior to, I mean, this last couple of years, people would put their photos on the account with the biggest number of posts in it. So like most people would be like, oh, I got a surf photo. Let me put it in the surfing one, because there's 14 million other people with a higher likelihood of seeing it. But as you can tell, so many people are posting in this category that when you post your photo in here, let's see, this one was posted 26 seconds ago. You know, this one was posted 54 seconds ago. So many people are posting in this category that when you post in it, your photo gets launched down the list very quickly. So it doesn't have the time to sit there and get a lot of people to notice it when they go to the hashtag. So if you do the ones with, 14 million, some of hundreds of millions, your photo will go almost unnoticed. Yeah, you have more people likely to go to that page, but it's just gone off the list in a matter of no time, actually 10, 15 minutes. So you want to isolate the hashtag that has enough volume of posts on it, which I would consider the volume of searches, to have a lot of people going to it, but also not so much that your photo just goes way down the list and is pretty much out of sight for everybody who goes to it. So you want to find a happy medium for your category. I found that the surfing category is best from 500,000 to 1 million. So we'll scroll down the page a bit. I mean, people scroll down, they spend like a couple minutes on a hashtag. So this one's 2 hours ago. You can kind of go down the page to see, how long. 4 hours. So you want to see how long your post will stay on the top of the page in ratio of the amount of people that are going to go to that page. So for surfing, most of the words I use have about 500,000 to 1 million. I'd say it's different for each category, because some categories pop up really recent. So like a new trending hashtag, it could have 500,000, but there's just so many people posting it like live right now. It hasn't had the time to get to the big numbers that it really deserves. So you really need to go dig in there, to plan out like how many swipes you want to go down the page. Look at how long right here that post took before it got that far down. And I think you could really only hope for half a day to a day on a high up on that page where it gets lots of notice. So that's what you should take into consideration. Basically, volume of search, based on the amount of time you'll stay up on the noticeable section of the hashtag.
Okay, so not oversaturated where it, you don't even get any like notice, but saturated enough where you still get some likes.
Yeah, where you're basically seen. You want to be on like the first, 2-3 sections.
So, but how do you figure that out?
So when I do this for a person, I go, all right, so this has 500,000. This has 500,000 posts on it. So I know that there's a big audience going to this page. I also look at the page to be like, all right, this is Surfer Girl, and how relevant are the photos? Because people are not going to keep scrolling down a page when the photos aren't relevant to the hashtag. So first off, you want to make sure the photos are relevant. Because if they're not, scratch the hashtag, because nobody who's interested in that topic is going to keep scrolling down past the first page. And then I would go to, all right, so say the average person goes down three pages. So they go 1, 2, 3. So this would probably be your biggest relevant section, your biggest likelihood of actually being noticed on this hashtag. And I'll go, I think it's the same one, 2 hours. So it took this photo 2 hours to get down to the limit of where this photo will be noticed. So that's what I would consider. I would hope for my photos to last on the top 3 swipes for 12 hours to a day. And I mean, some of the lower hashtags, you can get them there to stay for months, but you're going to get less of people going to that hashtag. So you want the 30 most relevant hashtags you can possibly use for every single photo. I usually have 25 that I set no matter what. These are like my main categories. And then I'll leave 5 open for every photo that I post, because maybe it'll have like a person's name that I want to tag in it. Maybe it'll have a certain category of my business that I want to tag in that's not relevant to other photos. So I leave like 5 open for interpretation of that photo.
Okay. What tool do you use to look at hashtags though? Do you just use the Instagram just to look at the hash, like just from the search?
So the best one is actually the search. I've used a bunch of programs online, and nothing is as good as this. So what you want to do is go to hashtags. I'll go to surfboard. This one's really relevant. And then you go to the related. They just added this a few months ago. Related, or I just noticed it a few months ago because I was using other tools. But it'll show you all the related keywords with similar photos into it. So I have seen it where you get some like outlandish relations that are like really good that you would never thought of. So if you're typing like surf photo, it'll pop up surf photography, photo surf, surfing photography. So sometimes it'll give you ones that are like really perfect for you, but you would never thought of. So I just use the Instagram app because it has this related feature. And then I just manually come in here, type in my broadest category keywords, and I'll go down the list of 14 million, 1 million, 500,000. So I'll start out with my predicted range. So I think like the surfing category, the best range will be like 500,000 to 1 million. So I'll start looking in that category to see how long the post lasts on the page. And then I realize, all right, I went down 3 on this one. That girl popped up. Yeah. So 3 swipes down, it's 2 hours. Not really going to cut it for me. I'll come down, like, all right, let's try 68,000. I'm like drastically lower. But see, in this one, the content is not even surfing related. So I'd be like, I know that no one's going to go past this far if they're looking for surfing. Like, this is bogus, girl eating watermelon, whatever those things are. Something wine, more beer. They're not going to go down this far, so this one's worthless to me. We go surf culture. This one, from the beginning, get-go, it looks like it's going to be pretty good. Looks like all surfing content. Just me normally going through the hashtags, and I'll be like, all right, see how long this one's been on here. 12 hours. So your photo will actually last on this page in a reasonable, eye-catchy spot for 12 hours. So this is kind of a keyword I'd aim for. You can also refresh and see how long the last photo. 17 minutes ago. Not so bad. Some of them have photos every 10 seconds, and you know your photo's going to fly down the list that way. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, that's good.
What else were you talking about? You had 2 more?
It was like cross promotion.
Oh, cross promotion. I mean, the only really way you have of doing that is your website. You can change that to a YouTube video, Facebook, landing page. I obviously use it to my website because I've had good luck with that in the past. But if I post like a new blog, or if we repost this event video, I could put that right here on my page, drive some traffic to that. But I really want to drive people to a page that has other links to my other pages. So I don't really want to send them to a dead end.
But I meant like cross promotion from like one Instagram page to another Instagram page.
Oh, all right, I see. So with that, it's a bit tricky. People tend to scroll right over like a scammy post or something that looks like an advertisement. They're really used to advertisements nowadays. So when you're doing cross promotion, it's better to like not post like just a picture of your friend or just a picture of another person. Be like, hey, follow this guy. You know what I mean? Your conversion ratio is going to be tiny, like 0.5%, maybe lower. When you have big numbers, when you have like over 1 million, that works. But the key is to like do 2 or 3 posts with that person or with that company. So you want them to think you're related or like a person in the same category. And, when they start seeing them and they start checking out their page, saying their page is the same content, seeing that they have cool stuff, then they're like, all right, I'll follow this person. You know what I mean? So it's more about like a relationship. And I would say direct cross promotion only works with the, super high accounts over 1 million or over 500,000. Like a direct, be like, hey, follow this person. And
Gotcha.
then this other one. Oh, then that kind of goes hand in hand with the what is it called? Paying other people to promote your product, kind of like similar to paid advertising. So paying somebody else to post a picture of your page goes hand in hand with what I just said. But key there is you actually have to put the hashtag ad next to it, because you got to know that people have to know that this is an ad. This is paid. This is not that person's actual wording, or this is not that actual person's like mindset on the product. So you can get into some legal stuff there if you don't say the hashtag ad. But it actually does work really well. I mean, my biggest thing for it is give the product to the influencer and tell them, hey, take whatever photo you want. I want it to look real. I want it to look genuine. I want it to look like this person actually likes my product. Like I want them to do, whatever they would do if they normally had it. You know what I mean? So I wanted to remove all scamminess of ads toward it. But in return, you will get a decent conversion ratio. I mean, you're not going to get much higher than any paid ad. But the key here is so you find your target audience. Let's say you're trying to sell clothing or tea. Let's say tea, because everybody does that on Instagram. So you're trying to sell tea to your target audience. They follow models in LA. They probably follow 3 or 4 of them. So if you do one influencer and you get them to post tea, and then you wait a week and you get another influencer to post tea, you're not going to get that feel, that vibe that's out there. You know what I mean? You have to get at least 3 people posting on the same day or within the next day. You want to create like a buzz of influencer. Like all the smartest people, all the people that I love are using this product now. It must just came out. I got to check it out. I got to be like the first one. I call it kind of like you can buy cool. So I'm paying a cool person to use my product, and they're telling their fans it's cool. So you can really create good brand awareness campaigns from it, and you can really create a cool factor from maybe a product that isn't that cool, or maybe a name that isn't that cool, because they have the power. Whatever they say is cool, and that's what you want to look for in an influencer. I would say maybe stick to the more blogger influencers, the ones with like massive engagement, because there's a lot of influencers now that have like 1% engagement. but there's a lot of bloggers who have like 8% engagement. So their fans listen to bloggers more than they do a famous celebrity. So that's what I would say. So really consider your project, your goals, who you're targeting, who's selling it. If you're selling a really technical project, even though it's for the girl marketer, the girl consumer, if you're getting a person that is perceived as cool but not smart, then people look at your product and, not realize the full extent of it. They won't really trust the influencer to know that product is what it is. They can smell a scam from a mile away. So really, if you're going to pay an influencer to post for you, make sure that influencer would actually use the product themselves or could potentially use the product themselves. It would seem like they would, basically.
Right.
It's like the first time you notice, like, oh, nothing's out of the ordinary.
Nice. All right. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to go over, or is that pretty much it?
Oh, man. I don't know. There's a couple of things I would say. Like, when you first post photos on Instagram, it's a really good idea to buy likes or make sure your photo gets a lot of likes right away. This lets Instagram know that, hey, this is a popular post. Maybe we should consider featuring it on our popular page. So if you want to use an app or a paid program to boost like 100 likes on a photo within like 5 minutes, Instagram popular page will take notice. And what I've noticed recently is if I get somebody to come to my page from Instagram and they land on there, maybe they don't want to follow me right now, or they don't believe I'm real, or whatever reason they have. Just because they landed on my page, they showed interest in me, Instagram will feed them my content through the popular page in the following weeks. I'm not sure how long it is. They don't post this stuff or publish this stuff. I just noticed this from using it so much.
And what is the popular page?
It's basically the popular feed on Instagram.
So like just people's feeds, right?
No, it's actual.
It's like a hashtag?
I'll bring it up right now. So, one sec. So it'd be considered like a trending page. So you got your home, which is your regular feed. You got this one, which is your search page. Also, it's considered stuff you might like. So popular page, trending page. They're
Gotcha.
basically combing through your content types, what you're hashtagging, what you're liking, and suggesting content that you should check out. Sometimes some weird stuff pops up. I don't know why, but it's based on the accounts you go look at. So when people look at my account, I will pop up in their feed. I noticed this for a lot of surfing accounts. Like I went to a few, I check out their photos, and then like a couple days later, I'll see them on my popular feed, and I'll be like, they're not even really that famous. Why are they showing up? It's because I express interest in their account by going to it, maybe liking a photo. So this is what the page people use to explore, and it's pretty much just like the Facebook one, video after video after video. So your stuff would show up here to a massive audience. So basically like organic growth. Like it would be trending. And that's the popular page. Any questions about that?
Nope.
All right, well, I got some, when we were watching the show, I got, quite a few stuff in the last hour. I'm trying to think of any other tools I use. Kind of all done manually. Just get likes, use Instagram, make sure my profile looks up to date, looks like all the other influencers, pick my niche. Really, really crucial that all my photos follow the same trends, same direction. Yeah. Is there any other fan questions?
Looks like people are just asking about like bulk uploads and like more post scheduling and whatnot. But I think maybe not along the lines of Instagram.
Yeah, I mean,
Everything,
I used Buffer and Hootsuite before for Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. Actually, it's really good to keep content going every single day. But I mean, this topic specifically, Instagram, it is not allowed to. They're not allowed to post for you. There's no automated posting, so you have to do everything manually. And I personally believe the best marketing, best advertising is done by hands-on working on the program. Like, I don't say I'm against the big marketing automation tools, but using the direct platforms to advertise on allows you so many more features. You see what's going on. You notice things that are happening. You learn while you're marketing as well. Because like I wouldn't have taken note on the popular page stuff. I can see what's going on just by using it.
Right.
So I would just say get on the app or hire someone that will, manage your page for like $1,000 a month. I mean, if you can spend $1,000 a month, land a couple of projects from that, you're paid for, and then some. You got to figure out how much your product is worth, though.
Nice.
I can see my stats, though. I think I've gained right about 13,000.
Wow.
That was 222 days. Let's see this one. No, that one's on the negative side. We're just doing unfollows mostly, and I don't want to show any more accounts because a lot of times the client likes to be private, not showing that they're on Instagram.
Right.
They want everybody to think that they're completely viral growth.
Right on, man. Well, I'm sure. I mean, I already know off of the 7 likes we have, people are finding value in this. Everybody's pretty interested from the comments. We'll definitely be getting some comments in the future, I'm sure. Probably with more questions. We might even have to do like a part 2 where we're just answering questions.
Yeah.
And we might think of some more things as we go on. But to the 6 people watching, I appreciate you guys for standing by, and I hope hopefully you guys found some value in this stuff. Matt is a super cool guy, and he's I think you're willing to take on a couple more people, right?
Yeah, it's kind of new year, new clients. I try to like.
So if they did want to hit you up about your Instagram services, where would they go?
Just montecitogroup.com.
Okay. And we will leave that in the description. And if you want to check him out on Instagram too, what's your Instagram name?
Jattmones. It's my nickname. JATTMONES.
Nice. Okay. Cool. And if you guys want to see some motivational stuff, I'm on Instagram too. It's Chase_Reiner. I just only post motivational quotes. But thanks for doing that, Matt.
Yeah, no problem. That was my first one, so getting the hang of speaking. Getting the hang of the YouTube thing.
No, you killed it.
I've been on the back end of YouTube a lot, but never on the front side.